We're running a little short of time, but we want to get Ryan Schambers here. He's the candidate for District 4. He's running to replace Joe Muratori. He's got a couple different individuals, but you're here tonight. It's good to have you on board.
Good to have you.
Nice to see you. How did to jump right in for just a second, how did it come out? Did they decide to push your request forward at the committee?
For the basketball hoop?
Yes.
Basically, they already have laws in place that sufficiently cover the basketball hoop issue where people would have their basketball hoop on the sidewalk or on the curb, and they've actually already have given out fines for that, $100 for the first time, $200 for the next, and then $500 for the third time. So there really wasn't anything to be passed, and I agreed upon it because there's already sufficient legislation in place in the city municipal code that doesn't just apply to basketball hoops, but applies to other objects placed on the sidewalk and the curb as well. So I was
public
satisfied.
service here. We like to let everybody know everything. I guess I kind of take the counter. I think kids ought to be, especially in cul-de-sacs or a very slow city street, which we have several of anyway. It's not, kids can't always play on the driveway. It's too much of an angle or whatever. To me, it ought to be okay, especially in a cul-de-sac, to put a basketball hoop out there. And the city pretty much leaves it to their officers' discretion. But that's been a bone of contention, as we talked about with Salida. Salida allows basketball hoops, and they said if Modesto wants to ban them, Modesto can just stay in Modesto.
Right.
I understand there's a safety issue involved. That's what it's all about.
Right. That's why I originally brought it up about over a month ago to the city council because it is a significant safety issue. And I actually live on a cul-de-sac. I have a 2-car garage, so I have enough room to play basketball. Other people don't, though, because they're in new homes, so I understand their argument. Most of the new homes, though, aren't on cul-de-sacs, but I believe there could be. Actually, I did include an exception for cul-de-sacs in the article. You can go to modestogov.com and look it up. It's on the Safeties and Communities Council agenda. So it's all there, public online, if you want to read it.
Good. No, I mean, that's great. So what made you decide to throw your hat in the ring?
Well, I just noticed driving by, it seemed like people playing basketball in the street could just be hit, and I've always been involved in politics, but that's especially when I started becoming involved in city politics. But I was a police explorer for over 2 years.
Oh, okay.
And I learned a lot of experience from that. Riding around with police officers in the passenger seat of the patrol car. I learned a lot of city laws, state laws, and just a lot of events going on in Modesto. I volunteered at almost every single event in Modesto so far.
So are you considering being a police officer in the future?
I was originally, but I kind of changed my mind after realizing what the job's really like. It's a very difficult job.
They shoot at you.
Right.
I'm not. I mean, it's dangerous. Quite. I wasn't trying to make light.
It is quite dangerous.
Yeah. I've got several relatives that are police officers, so not here, but back east.
Right. It is very dangerous. You really have to be paranoid, not just at work but at home, because if you arrest somebody, they could retaliate. And there's been instances where police officers or DAs even have been killed. So it's very dangerous, and I even told an officer that his name was in white pages and his address, and to get that removed. So I don't want to become a police officer because for that reason, and there's a lot of paperwork involved in the job and waiting around, and a lot of times you're digging through people's pockets, so it wasn't my thing, but I'm still interested in.
So what do you think are some of the lead issues in Modesto now?
I think some of the lead issues are definitely gangs, drugs, farmland, water, jobs, and I actually just wrote an article the other day talking about how we could improve jobs in Modesto. A lot of the businesses have closed down from the bad economy, but that's not the only reason. Blockbuster on Oakdale Road closed down because basically there's piracy, there's YouTube, there's Netflix, there's all these things that are competing with them,
yeah.
and they didn't change their business to adjust to any of those changes. So basically, they just went under because they overcharged, in my opinion, for movies. And now Video One on Oakdale Road seems to have almost a monopoly on the video rental business.
Is Video King still open off of?
No, that actually closed down a long time ago, probably 5 years ago. That the one on Oakdale and Scenic. Is that what you're referring to?
The one off of McHenry.
Oh, that one.
Is that Floyd or?
I can't say for sure if it closed down, but I believe it has. You would have to check. But I know that
Most have. Though.
most have. Hollywood Video, the vast majority have closed down. So
Well, when you've got the red box that every time you turn
Redbox
around,
too, yeah.
is taken over Netflix, and with the speed of downloads online anymore, you can, things, if they don't keep up with the modern technology, and quite honestly, I thought Hollywood Video and Blockbuster got caught short. Mm-hmm. Hollywood was undercapitalized, and Blockbuster didn't change. And when people started pulling out, they didn't react quickly enough. They started going to the online videos too, but that still wasn't serving the purpose. So, right. But there's, I guess that just goes to show that in order to be up with, you have to change and stay modern and current all the time. You just can't just sit there and expect to make money for the rest of your life, so to speak.
Yeah.
Current business models you have to stay real current.
Definitely.
Well, we're running a little short of time, so and I'm sorry we couldn't get you on earlier.
That's fine.
I'm glad you got your opportunity to speak. One of the things I like to do is go to those committee meetings because that's where ideas and opinions get formulated. What did the committee decide on when it came to the area in front of the mall?
They decided basically that they're going to bring it to the city council to talk about and discuss, and they haven't really recommended any specific plan for that yet. So it's just a general submit it to the city council for review and discussion and all that, and that's basically what they decided. So just to take down the bullards on 10th Street. So,
ladies and gentlemen, like we said earlier, if you want to stay current, you have to go to the agenda meetings. Those help. You've got the city council meetings. They're so poorly attended. I know you've been going on a regular basis here recently, and that's great to see. Yeah. We need more young people there. It's always nerve-wracking to walk up to that podium and speak. I know it used to drive me insane. It still makes me a little nervous, but not so much as it used to. But it's important because if people don't take part of the process, they get it handed to them. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for tuning in. Remember, you're going to see more people like Ryan Schambers, and you're going to see more of Ryan in the weeks to come. We're going to keep bringing on these council member candidates. So, from Athens Abell and myself, Emerson Drake, we're on watch for you. Thank you and good night.